What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Super Bowl and basically what I seen watching it live and everything like that, and how it kind of translates into what's going on with the Dolphins a little bit. So, that game, you can say that the refs had some bad calls because they did. I've seen a lot of people on online saying that the refs won that game for Tampa, but I don't think that's the case. There definitely was some bad calls, but Kansas City really defeated themselves, especially on defense. Yeah, they did have some rough calls, but at the same time, like, they were the ones, getting out. They lost their discipline, basically, especially in that second quarter. Now, like I said, there definitely were bad calls, but not to the extent that I think it would have swayed who won or lost. Kansas City ultimately just didn't play well last night. And that offensive line was so bad. I mean, I do understand that they were missing both their starting tackles, and they had to put in a backup guard to move their guard to tackle. But that just goes to show you how important offensive line is. I've seen people on this channel and like commenting and stuff like that, and just general people online that aren't really high on the Dolphins taking offensive line because they think just because we drafted 3 last year that's enough. But no, because Austin Jackson hasn't played well at all. Robert Jones has been pretty average. I like Solomon Kinley. He's played well. He's played decent. But at the very least, we need a center, and honestly, I think we need at least another tackle, because I'd put Robert Jones as our other guard, because he's playing out of position right now. That's why I don't want a guard, per se. I'd rather have a tackle. But that's just me. But that game really showed why O-line is so important, because Patrick Mahomes took a fucking beating. And he was getting desperate because he had no time to throw. He was trying to do heroics on every single play. They couldn't run the ball effectively, and that's something we've seen for the Dolphins all year. We had to design plays to get rid of the ball almost instantly every single time because our offensive line was trash. And also, we couldn't create any separation consistently for the running game. And you seen that last night with the Chiefs. Like, they had a couple explosive runs, which, again, that's what we've seen with the Dolphins, too. Like, just nothing consistent, but once in a while, someone would break one out. Like, Edwards-Helaire is so athletically gifted that he broke a couple out. And we've seen, like, Myles Gaskin or Ahmed do the same thing throughout the year. And then people like Matt Breida, who aren't as explosive, just couldn't get going because the offensive line was bad. But yeah, I mean, congratulations to Tampa. They did their job. Offensively, I didn't think they were super impressive. I did think that Tom Brady winning Super Bowl MVP was a little ridiculous. It's really just a popularity contest at this point. But I think it should have been Leonard Fournette, to be honest with you. He was running it down their throats and really bleeding that clock out in the second half. And honestly, their defense is what was really impressive. And I noticed that Levante David actually was going one-on-one a lot with Travis Kelce, and it was kind of a 50-50 thing. There was plays where he would completely lock Travis down, and then others that, Travis would do his thing and get open. I didn't think Levante David's coverage was like that. I knew he could cover well for a linebacker, but to be able to have success against Travis Kelce is quite impressive. And they kept Tyreek Hill out of that game entirely. Because they just kept rushing Pat Mahomes, so he didn't have time for Tyreek Hill to get open. That's why he kept throwing it to Kelce, because it's right there in the middle of the field. It's easy to read. Now, I will say, I didn't like Kansas City's play call last night. They knew that their offensive line was struggling, but they were still trying to... Now, I understand at the end of the game why they were trying to throw the ball deep, because they were in a hole. But they should have stopped doing that a little sooner to try to get their offense going. They, downright abandoned the run, and I don't think that was the right move. Le'Veon Bell, I don't even remember seeing him last night at all. I don't know if he was hurt. I can't remember. But, yeah, it was rough. It was a really rough loss for Kansas City last night. I mean, I don't really care either way. I'm not a fan of either team. But, yeah. This is why O-line is so damn important. Like, I seen a comment on my Dolphins mock draft saying that I'm not a fan of skill positions. And that's not the case. I just don't. The Dolphins have a lot of positional needs, and I value certain positions over others. That's just what that is. Like, safety, I would like to have a new free safety, but it's not my top priority. My top priorities are offensive line. I want a nose tackle, but that can hold off, and you generally get nose tackles later, like third, fourth round. But I want a linebacker because our linebacking core is going to be gone pretty much. I don't know what we're doing with Landon Roberts at the moment. His contract is up. Most of our depth players at linebacker are up. So that's why we really need to address linebacker so much. It's so important. Plus, that's your special teams unit too. So we really got to address linebacker major this year. I would like an edge rusher. Receiver is a big need. I would like a running back. Like, we just have a lot of needs, and you got to value some over others. O-line and linebacker for the Dolphins is my top priorities this year. But that's just me. And I do think offensive line is a little bit more important. It's just we're going to be so thin at linebacker, we have to address it. Because we'll have Jerome Baker, and then that's really it. And then we got like Kyle Van Noy and Andrew Van Ginkel, who are sometimes linebackers and sometimes they're more edge rushers. So we really need some depth there for sure. And I'd like to get one of the top guys. If we can get either Zaven Collins, JOK, or Nick Bolton, I'd be happy. But yeah, anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.